Hello and good day, everybody. We are here to watch the final card of Welcome to the Jungle at Coggshall Park in Fitchburg, Massachusetts. I am Adam Abruzzi alongside Marky Chapalonis.
What's up, guys?
We're excited here today. We battled through a wet, rainy first round at Cogs to bring you the MPO lead card. These guys all really battled the weather well. This tournament sponsored to you by Disc Golf 978.
And we'd like to thank Amplified Insurance Partners for their support for this tournament.
We wouldn't be able to put on events like this without sponsors like them, so we really appreciate them stepping up and helping us out to run these great events. We're excited today because all of the guys who made on to this lead card had to battle a really tough first round, so it's going to be good to see what they can do now with the weather improving. We had a portable Tournament Central thanks to Disc Golf 978 here, which was a really good sanctuary from the bad rainy weather we had, so thanks to them for setting that up for us. And now we'll get on to our lead card members.
First, we have Shane Wyatt out of Norwood, Mass, currently in first place.
We also have Kyle Moriarty joining us on the lead card here today. He's got a rating just over 1,000 after this ratings update here.
Next, we have William Schreiber from Rochester, New York, sponsored by Prodigy Disc.
Coming up from New Hampshire and making his way onto a lead card in Massachusetts. Not bad. Rounding out the lead card, we have Discmania and Disc Golf 978 sponsored Raivis. We are very excited to see what he can do here at Coggshall Park, and we're proud to have him on the lead card.
Yeah, so the scores today, Shane 10 down, Kyle 6, William 5, and then Raivis 4.
Yeah, I mean, it's a close game, especially on a course like Cogs where anything can happen. There's so many trees out here. Which, I mean, you know, that brings us right into hole one. It's a 182 footer. I mean, most people, especially in the MPO division, consider this a must get. Very small gap to fight your way through, but I think this hole averaged just over 2.5, so that really makes it kind of a must get too if you want to keep position on the lead card.
Yeah, and Shane here, I believe he's throwing a PA3 or a P Model S. Shane previously sponsored by Prodigy, so he still has some Prodigy discs in his bag.
I'm sure a lot of these guys will be throwing putter here.
Shane starts out a little early, but if anybody's played Cogs, and you always have a putt in these little laurel trees over here.
Yeah, it looks like that got out just a little early on him, but
It's giving him a putt. Shane's a really good putter, so let's see if we can connect. Here's Kyle Moriarty throwing a Pilot, I believe. Kyle previously sponsored by Latitude 64.
Oh, he gave that a run.
Yeah.
Just past the backside of the basket.
Trying to gain some strokes early on Shane, so now we have Billy Schreiber.
And when it comes to him, I'm going to be guessing a lot of the discs he's throwing.
All Prodigy.
PA3 here, I'm assuming.
It's pretty blunt edge, so yeah, it's pretty straight. And
oh, wow. That should be perfect. Actually, it's getting some extra credit, but not too bad at all.
Should be a tap-in birdie for him. And here's Raivis. I believe he's throwing either an Origin or...
I'm guessing an
Origin.
Yeah.
If anybody knows Raivis, the Origin Essence, it's his go-tos. And this is why. Almost.
Little kiss on that tree. I mean, that's a putt for Raivis all day, though. Shane will probably be, Kyle first up here.
Ooh. Just a little early off for Kyle. He'll have to settle for par. Here's Raivis for his 2, putting with P2s.
Perfect.
Dead center. Good start for Raivis. Raptor legging it in. Here we have Shane, putting with the Lunas. Made the switch.
So you can see he still ended up with a great putt here. Probably just a little obstructed, and he makes it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Starting off with a birdie. It's not good for the rest of the card, but it's exactly what he needed to do. Can't really slip up in the beginning here, especially at Cogs.
And here we have Schreiber for his 2. Ooh, just a little high.
Nerves. That's film card nerves for sure. Which, I mean, I think you'll probably see that with most of the players here. I know it was Raivis' first time being filmed. I don't think Shane or Kyle are new to it. I'm not sure about Will at all, but he'll pick that up.
Next we have hole 2. It's 272 feet, par 3, turnover or flick with danger on the left and behind the basket. Let's see what these guys can do. This hole averages a little over par, just under half a stroke. So, let's see what's going to happen.
That actually doesn't surprise me. That sounds about what I would have guessed.
Yeah, the rollaways are pretty frequent on this hole, so you just want to hit and stick. Shane's got to be throwing a rock here. He bags a lot of rocks, KCs, DX.
And his shot is exactly what a backhand's supposed to look like on here. He got a lot of love from that tree stump. Really kept him nice and flat.
He's got about a 10 to 15 foot putt. And
another origin shot, pretty much guaranteed out of Raivis here.
that's a sweet sweatshirt by Raivis. I'm wondering where you got that from.
That's another one. I mean, this is just, they're landing exactly where you want, especially if you're playing this as a righty backhander.
And here's Kyle. I want to say this is a Pilot as well, just their base plastic, not the Cosmic. There's a little to the left. See if we can get some love.
He's going to be somewhere on that hillside.
Gonna have to see. And Schreiber probably throwing the same shot as hole 1.
I'm guessing the same exact thing. It's got to be a 3 or a 4.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 3.
He has a good putt. Bounce back from the missed birdie putt on hole 1.
That'll be a real tester for him now.
So here we have Wads. Kyle. Wads, same thing. Just a little short on his putt. A little roll, but he should be up there for an easy 3. Here's Raivis after his great origin drive. See if he can connect with his death putt.
There he goes. No fear. You absolutely have to love that. That putt from exactly where Raivis was is the easiest way to turn this hole from a birdie to a 4. There we go.
And both those putts from Raivis and Schreiber, they're under 40 feet, but still they feel like 60 footers because of the depth behind it.
It was a good bounce back putt for Bill too.
And there's Shane with his birdie. Started off great, just how you want to do. And Wads, he'll take his 3 from where he was. It's kind of a safe.
It's almost a guarantee from there.
Exactly.
And Shane's got to be happy going into hole 3. I mean, he did exactly what he needed to do. Hole 3 isn't much of a separator hole. Hole 3 is playing about par and a half, which is totally normal for this hole. There's a little bit of danger on the right-hand side where there is an OB road and there's a little bit of heavy woods on the left. But pretty much any straight drive piped down this fairway can land you in a place where you can attack the basket well. You're not going to see many deuces on this hole from inside of 80 feet. Not to say that it's impossible. You just don't often see it. There is almost too many trees in the way.
Yeah, looking at the live scoring stats, there was 0 2s, a lot of bogeys, and a few doubles.
Yeah.
Shane's a little turnover here. Get some love off the laurels, and he's right in the fairway.
And that's exactly why I say that the OB on the right is only a little bit dangerous, because there's so much stuff over there to keep you inbounds.
I'm not sure 100%, but this could be an essence from Raivis. Looks pretty essence-like. Yeah, it's a great shot. You want to be in the little gully over there. Should be easy up and down for a 3. And shout out to Beast Disc Golf. I just see the logo from Schreiber on the top of his collar. So
actually, a huge shout out. I just met one of the part owners when I played the Tookie tournament last weekend, and he was awesome, and I bought one of his shirts.
I wonder if it was Joe. Joe Roy?
I can't remember his name.
Oh, shout out Joe Roy. Beast Disc Golf. And here's Kyle.
Now that looks like a really good drive.
Oh.
He danced a little bit with all the stuff. If it was a little bit higher, he had the line to beat a lot of trees.
For this hole, I think it plays a little more friendly to a flick. If you got the flick, the turnover flick. Either way, you just want to get up and down for your 3, though.
Ooh.
And it's going to be tough.
Playing that laterally, unfortunately. Definitely in a much better position now.
Schreiber just looks like he has a little bit of the jitter still.
It's totally understandable. I mean, you're playing on a film card, and everything is still a little bit wet out there. If I recall, the first few holes, especially on the second round, the rain had definitely stopped, but everything was still pretty soaked, and that added on with the nerves. That's a great approach from Shane.
Yeah, put some pressure on Kyle and Raivis to get up and down from where they are.
Yeah, he's leaving absolutely no windows even cracked for these guys right now. And on top of that, he's dropping pressure. So
Here's Kyle throwing a soft harp. This is a really OG harp. It's one of the good money runs. And looks a little deep, but pretty good.
it ends up sliding right in around the back.
And Raivis' drive, yeah, just like I said, the gully is where you want to be. It's kind of a throwing opportunity, but
Absolutely. See,
He's up and down.
that's one of the spots where I think you can steal the 2 from. But again, it's such an obstructed hard shot.
exactly.
I think this is Schreiber putting for 4.
Looks like he's just about circle's edge. A
That'll
little
s-
short.
That'll settle in. It's a tough double, but if you're going to double a hole on this course, this is the one to do.
Exactly. And here's everyone hopefully tapping in their pars. Good thing about hole 3 to 4, it's got a little walk, so you got to think about just how your round's going and see if you can pick it up from there.
Yeah, hopefully if you have the right mental game, it's just an opportunity to shake off whatever you've done the first 3 holes and realize that you have so many more to go. Ooh,
Little bounce back elastic pole, but
you gotta hate that.
yep. Disc catcher's one of the best in the game, but every basket gets spit outs. I don't think there's a basket known to man that has no spit outs yet.
And I hope you guys are enjoying these new graphics as much as me as we move on to hole 4. Hole 4 is a dead uphill 160-foot hole. It's very interesting the way that it plays. Most people are going to take it as a nice, easy backhand, but there is a tree in the dead center of the fairway that poses, I don't know, I would say about 80% of the issue on this hole. If it was missing, it would be a must get, but with it there, it makes it a lot more difficult.
Yeah, there's actually 2 lines on this hole. It's right or left of that tree we were talking about, right in the middle. Shane opts for the right side of the tree, just a little flex. Looks like a rock, Casey Rock again. And
Once
yeah,
again, though, not only doing exactly what he's supposed to do, but now he's pressured everybody on the card to deucing the hole. And as you see from Raivis, going to the right side of that tree can cause that issue. There's a couple of trees that come in on the right-hand side if you play that line.
Here's Kyle throwing the pilot again. Stable putt and approach disc. Just trying to get up the hill and give himself a putt. A little pulled, but it's up there.
This looks different than a disc he's thrown yet, so it might be a little bit more of a stable putter or maybe even a stable mid-range for him. That's going to be good.
I'm going to guess like an M3.
Possible, yeah. That was really good. He's left himself about 20-ish feet. A little obstructed in the laurel, but he should be happy with that.
Here's Raivis from a pretty tough lie. Puts it right next to the cage. Great shot by Raivis. And here you have Kyle looking at a 2-putt. It's not really too death. There's laurels behind it, but it's a little sketchy behind the green.
I think if anything, he was more worried about missing the stroke than what would happen if the putt rolls away.
Exactly. With Shane parked, it's kind of tough not to run it. Here's Schreiber for his 2.
That's fantastic. That's
Great
what he
birdie
needed.
from Schreiber. Battle back from the miss. And also the double on hole 3. And Raivis saves par. It's a good par from where he was off the tee.
First to drive, last to putt.
It's always a good thing in disc golf. Not yet, though.
Oh, it just sits there waiting for him to snag up a quick birdie, grab another stroke on the field. I mean, when I tell you, if you played this course enough, you know that he's not running away with it quite yet, but a 7-stroke lead for a player of his caliber, I mean, the other guys on the card have to be realizing what they're going to have to do.
Yeah, and that brings us on to hole 5. It's actually playing the hardest hole for this tournament, and to no surprise, this hole, it has teeth. Any trees in the middle, kick left or right, and you're almost a no par area. And the green itself, you get a lot of rollaways off this hill, and see if the players can just get up there for the threes.
It's an interestingly brutal hole. I mean, you have trees on both sides, and then you have a treacherous green, so...
Yeah, it says 335, but it plays a little longer because the uphill and then the angles. And this looks great at Shane's hand.
That's exactly how you want your first shot to go. It definitely takes a lot of the bad action on the green out of play when you get it that far up.
And as you see, the tee pads are a little slick, so players have to deal with this as well as the trees and everything to deal with in this Coggshall Park.
Yeah, they're muddier than typical because so many people were dragging a lot of dirt onto the tee boxes that first round with how wet it was. So Good for these guys for fighting through. He's going to be in a tough spot on the right-hand side. It looks like he got a lot of distance, but there's not a lot of ways out.
Yeah, a lot of people here, I believe this is an essence from Raivis again, and a lot of people throw mid-ranges just to get up straight. Like I was saying, this was the hardest hole in the course. There was no birdies, a lot of double bogeys. I am one of those double bogeys. But, yeah, no birdies, so spoiler alert, but
Happy to finally see a forehand. Definitely more my style, and this is exactly how I like to attack this hole. I actually like to attack it on that line. I don't quite have the distance Kyle has, but that's a great shot and exactly what you want to be able to do. If you have that kind of distance with the forehand, that line is pretty open for a nice turnover like that, and then just an absolute finish.
like I was saying with the roll away, Kyle would have been 50 feet, 60 feet, if that, and then he just rolled out into the laurels. But then Raivis with a great upshot. Can't see him, well, barely, but Schreiber's in there. Yeah, I think he threw.
It looks like he was trying to come. Oh, there it is, actually, just rolling around. Looks like he tried to fight the hillside. He's going to have a putt, but he's going to be stuck in the laurels while he makes it. Anytime you see players shooting for deuce on this hole, it's just awesome to see.
Mm-hmm. And right there, Shane, it's kind of a layup area right there. You don't want to have too far of a putt for a comebacker. And here's Kyle for his two.
Definitely looks like he might be a little uncomfortable where he is.
Again, it's really hard to run that basket with that slope. Most of the time, you're going to get at least a 15-foot roll away.
Yeah, if you catch metal but don't sink it, you can pretty much guarantee your putt won't stick anywhere near the ground. And then it does it right after I say that, of course.
Schreiber actually clipped a tree there, so I'm not sure if that was in or out. But here's Raivis for his three.
That's a big putt.
Great putt from Raivis. He's feeling his putt.
Big pressure putt there.
And Shane's getting off this hole unscathed. And going into hole 6, that's all he wants to do. Get a few birdies. He's 3 down.
As long as he's not giving up any strokes on the field, he's got to be happy.
Exactly.
Well, these guys are showing you why they're on the lead card, though, for a hole that averaged that as the hardest. They did 3 pars and a bogey, really not too bad, especially when that moves them on to hole 6. This is kind of, I mean, in my opinion, this is the feature hole of the course. This big over-the-gully shot that you have to make. A lot of trees along the way, but a very good tunnel. I mean, players like these guys, they can make it up to the basket. It actually averaged just over par, which is incredibly impressive, which means a lot of players, you know, especially at this high of a level, they can throw something really straight. And that's what you have to do. True,
yeah. You just want to get over the hill, get over the rocks like you see in front of us, and hopefully skip up for a 2 or an easy 3. It's a little early for Shane, but it looks like it's getting over the gully, so we'll have a 3 look from over there. Yep. This has got to be an essence from Raivis, like the salmon-colored pink essence. I'm going to say it's an essence.
I almost wonder if it's an enigma. Yeah, that was more stable, so maybe enigma.
Maybe we'll see from when we get down there.
Oh, it could have been a DD3. That kind of distance he was looking to get.
Here we have Wads. Wads has the power to get it up there, so I think he's trying to attack the green here.
And that's exactly what he does. He should get a skip here. Yeah.
Yeah, he's about 20 feet, if that. And it's exactly what you want right there. And use the flight tracker.
Our first flight tracker.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect.
Speechless. That's all you need right there. Walk off this hole and be happy.
I don't think flight tracker has ever had a straighter line.
Here's Schreiber with one of his Prodigy discs. Not sure about this one yet. And it's a pretty neutral flight.
Like I said, it's fun to guess, so I'm going to say that was probably somewhere around the H1, V2 department.
And from the angle, it looked like that went really far left, but he's over the canyon, and he's probably looking at the basket from over there. It's going to be tough, but see if he can get up and down.
Raivis gets stopped a little early. He's left himself outside the circle for his par.
Here's Shane just laying up.
Yeah, he's smart. Ooh.
Little action.
Luna
sits.
I've never seen a Luna sit that well before, so.
Yeah, like I was saying, it's pretty thick over here, but there's a lot of gaps you can get through there. and almost rings it up for a 2.
Yeah, he has no problem getting out of there.
Here's Raivis to save a great 3 from down in the gully. He wanted that one.
He moved around a lot on that putt.
Yeah.
I think he might have had a little too much extracurricular there.
And here's Kyle for his 2.
Awesome.
Great 2 by Kyle.
It's really great to have that on film.
Yeah.
It's not a hole that's deuced by guys who don't have the arm like him. Quick par for Shane. First time he's given up a stroke this round, but still holding a 6-stroke lead on to second place right now.
Schreiber taps in for his 3 and going into hole 7. Hole 7 is actually the first par 4 that the players will see. And if any of you guys ever played Cogs and you just want to get through this gap and push out to the middle fairway, I call it, and battle for the 3. Even getting a 4 on this hole, it's not so bad, but for these MPO players, they're going to be attacking it for the 3.
Yeah, a lot of these guys will try to get the 3. The only horrific danger on this hole is in the first 160 feet. Once you get through that initial gap, you can be left. There's a way to get through the back. You can be pretty far to the right. There are ways to attack the basket. If you don't get through the first 160 to 80 feet, it's a lot of trouble. It's a lot of trouble.
Kyle's throwing a Thunderbird right here. It's just straight to stable.
Yeah.
Fairway from Innova. It's fairway. That's all you can hope for.
So, I mean, yeah, he got very lucky to land right where he is. Very tough spot to try to get a 3 from, but still, again, like you had mentioned, that's an easy 4.
Exactly. I gotta think this is a destroyer or strike from Shane.
Maybe a strike the way that thing flipped up.
Mm-hmm.
That is not a bad spot. He has actually multiple ways to try to attack it, even from that laurel.
Here we have William Schreiber. Looks great out of his hand, a little flex to the right, and hopefully a finish without any trees.
Now that's still even with the tree, that's fine. Definitely in an easy position to attack the basket. Evolution line essence here for sure. Primal run, I mean.
Yeah, actually they'll favor the right side here, so when I'm reaching in my bag, I'm throwing something flippy, either a fairway or just a really beat distance driver, just to flip it over right and hopefully get up and down for the 3 to the right side.
I'm exactly the same way, except for the fact that I forehand it, but I like something with a little bit of extra finish. I have no problem being on the right-hand side here.
Here's Kyle.
That looks like he sawed it off a little bit, but he was in a really tough... Actually, no, that really wasn't that bad at all.
A little left out of his hand, but got through some trees, and he'll have a putt.
Yeah, it was hard to tell from the angle he threw that from, but that did not land in the worst spot. Ooh, you hate to see that.
See if Raivis can battle back and save his par. That looks great out of his hand.
So there you go.
Good little roll, and he'll have a putt. And here's Schreiber's drive, and it looks pretty jail over here, but there's some gaps, as you can see here. Puts it right next to the basket. Easy 3.
Oh, wow. No problem. He's just shooting really well today.
Jump putting a little long, so he'll have a putt. And here we have Kyle from his upshot, putting for birdie.
That's impressive. He was able to get through everything without touching anything, but it just didn't clip right in. Do you know what he putts with?
He's putting with Lunas, I believe.
Nice.
Thought space to Lunas, actually. 2 putts in a row for Raivis that are a little low. Hits front cage. Hopefully you can battle back and get them a little up there.
What was the average on this hole?
Hole 7's a little under, or a little over half a stroke, or under half a stroke. Sorry about that. It's playing .44 over par.
Okay.
So hit a couple trees, and
so hopefully Raivis realizes that a bogey here isn't the end of the world. Just assuming the fact that he knows how many strokes he is off the lead. You definitely start to get to a point in a round like this where you really are battling for better position. So he's got to know that bogey's not anywhere near a big problem for this round. So
exactly, with Raivis right now down 9 strokes, I believe he's gonna be 10 after this hole.
Exactly.
For the bogey. So he's just working on some damage control.
So, I mean, I know some guys don't look, some guys don't like to, but if he's keeping an eye on it, he knows that that hole's not going to kill him, and he needs to still play hard as we move into hole 8, which is, I mean, it's a shorty.
Yeah, 180 feet, and if a lot of players here, they
Oh yeah, it averaged almost a half a stroke under par, which definitely, in my opinion, makes it a must-get. Especially, I mean, if you're on the lead card, that's no question there.
I've seen numerous aces on this hole, and Adam, you probably have as well.
This is one of the holes I've witnessed a good amount of aces on. This is actually a hole where I've seen working. Oh, here we go.
Oh, just over the top.
Wow, that was really close. This is actually a hole that has hit the ace pot, I believe, twice on the Disc Golf 978 Flex Leagues. So you never know.
Shout out to James Hoyt for that.
Yeah, James Hoyt did a good one.
And Schreiber leaked it out a little left, but he'll have a pin high putt about 25-ish out. And we have Wads throwing his standstill Luna here. Like we said, 180 feet, so the distance isn't a problem. It's just angle control and basically speed control.
Yeah, a lot of speed control, especially if you're throwing a putter.
I would imagine this is a P2 from Raivis.
Absolutely.
Just a straight P2 with maybe a little turn on it. Just gets by that tree and it's parked, maybe.
P1X?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
That was a little stable, or just, you never know what the wind was doing out there, but that might have been a P1X. All these questions I'm going to have for him later now.
Here's Wads from about 30, 35 feet. Definitely outside the circle. A little long.
Ooh.
A little short with his putt, but he's going to want to get that one next time. And a great lefty putt by Wads there. A little salty about that hole, but just got to move on and get some more birds. Here's Shane to take another stroke.
There it is. See, this is the point where I say it. 8 strokes ahead on a course like this, the way Shane's playing, the rest of these guys need to really start battling for position at this point.
There's Schreiber putting great birdie putt, bouncing back from a few misses earlier this round, so he's happy to get that one. Same with Raivis, just great drive and tap in birdie. And then now we move on to hole 9. Hole 9 is par 3, 358 feet, downhill shot. This hole is playing just over par at 0.25 over par. So it's not the easiest, not the hardest, but it has teeth. There's a lot of trees, and you just want to get down there and give yourself a putt.
It's one of those fun holes where there's so many ways to go. I mean, I see people throw all sorts of speeded discs and forehand, backhand. I've really seen it all.
Overhand.
Yeah, anything, honestly, yeah, overhand. Thumbers.
Shout out to Edwin Bedell last year, throwing thumbers and overhands on every hole, and I would assume he threw on this hole.
I assume he throws a thumber here.
And Shane,
great kick.
Gets a great kick off the stump and puts himself outside the circle, but it should be an easy, manageable 3, if not a 2 bid.
He's not much outside that circle. It doesn't look like. That's a pretty good shot.
It's the same disc that Schreiber's been throwing the hole 1. We got to assume it's a P3 or PA3, sorry. Or maybe a P model S.
That looks like a good line.
Leaking a little left, but anything down there, pin high, is going to be great.
Absolutely. He's just behind Shane by about 15 feet, so.
Exactly.
Oh, here we go.
Here we have it. Raivis throwing an FE3 here, I believe.
I'm not sure if he did throw a thumber on the first round. We played with him the first round. I don't remember if he did this, but I do like the play. I've seen it work out a lot, especially when it's that good.
Oof, and a great shot by Raivis. A little action after the green.
Wow. Excellent.
Yeah, for Cogs, like I say, a disc is not going to hit a tree if it's up and down. Well, it might hit a tree, but it's not going to hit a tree like that. And Waz throwing his pilot again, a straighter one. This looks very long.
That looks very long. Wow. I think he's going to be, he's about 80-ish feet long. Really soft harp. He's going to just get this to hit the ground and stop.
Yeah, from Kyle's lie, it didn't really look like it was too much of like trees, but it's a jail in there. If anybody knows how Cogs played years past, and it's nothing compared to this. It was so much harder years past with the Laurels. The Cogs community did a great work with making this course what it is today. As we see Waz just spit out for his par.
That's a tough one. He's got to be feeling like he's in a little bit of danger here of giving up his spot, where he's given up a birdie on the last hole, and now he's going to take a bogue here.
And Schreiber with his 2 bid, that would have put him
right there.
That would have put him in second place over Kyle. I'm not sure about the chase card
Shane
or
piling it
anything
on.
like that. Yeah, Shane with another birdie on his round. So it's almost a battle for second place right now.
At this point, it's safe to say it with half the round to go. And I mean, these guys are putting on a show one way or the other. Schreiber just unfortunately went from what looked like a birdie opportunity to a bogey opportunity.
Yeah, with Raivis just a stroke behind him, and he's putting for birdie right now. It's going to be tough for Schreiber to actually stick with Raivis, and even Kyle. They're all going to be tied if Raivis puts this in.
That was a huge
He
putt.
does. So we're going to have a tie, a three-way tie for second place at 6 down.
Actually, I think Schreiber's about to put in for Bogue.
You're correct.
Disc Golf 978 is a fully stocked, one-stop shop for all your disc golf needs. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned pro, Disc Golf 978 has what you need to improve your game. We have all major brands, a helpful and knowledgeable staff, convenient hours, and a customer rewards program. Disc Golf 978 is located within 30 minutes of 9 courses in Central Mass. Find us at 16 John Fitch Highway in Fitchburg, Mass, or on the web at discgolf978.com.
And here we have hole 10. It's a par 3, 226 feet. And yeah, there's a lot of trees in this hole. But this hole, there's actually a lot of birdies. This ties hole 8 with the most birdies on the day for this hole. And this is just a hyzer for righties or even a lefty flick. So let's see what the players can do.
Yeah, I mean, you'll be able to see it when these guys go to tee off that this hole's definitely a little less grown in right now than you saw on the drone fly through. And there is some added OB here on the left-hand side. Those 2 white stakes you see in the fairway are actually the drop zone if you do find yourself in there.
Yeah, this hole, it doesn't really drain too well. As you can see right there, it's pretty wet. But Shane with a great rock shot in the circle. He'll be looking at a putt for his 2. And Shane is actually 6 down through 10, and that's a great round. It's going to be hard for the players to catch him. Here's Raivis. Hopefully he gets through a little bit. Ooh,
That was in a lot of danger of the OB, but he is going to be safe.
Hello, dog. And he actually hits the rope, the OB rope, and he is safe.
That is the easiest way to go OB on this hole is to throw high, and he definitely threw a little bit high there.
Here's Schreiber. Looks pretty straight. I'm not sure if it's the same disc as hole 1 as well. Straight P3, PA3 or PA4. A hell of a putt from about 20 feet. It's a great looking shot from him. And Kyle's throwing his pilot again. The oversable version.
That looks like it could be a little short. No, it was just over the OB line. Not bad. He got himself safe.
Yeah, and that OB line, it's about 40 from the basket, so it's not a gimme. But Raivis nails it right in the heart, and he is a flight tracker. But with the putt.
Just a nice replay. We'll
Yeah.
take it.
Smooth stroke by Raivis, and he's going to be happy with that putt after a few misses.
Definitely a good time for a birdie.
Here's Schreiber putting his PA3s, dead center. Happy to move off with a 2 on hole 10.
Looks like we're going to have ourselves a star frame.
Yeah, willing Shane, if he makes his 2 putt, it's going to be a great star frame.
There it is.
Dead center, and yeah, can't play the hole better than that unless you ace it. These 4 players are pretty happy with that. Moving on to hole 11. Pretty hard hole of this course.
Yeah, hole 11's really interesting. You basically have to make yourself all the way around the corner here. The basket does play up on... It plays up on an interesting pile of rocks that can really cause your disc to go one way or the other. There is a nice backdrop here, which lets the players with the arm to do so, or the accuracy to do so, to really attack this pin. You're going to see a lot of backhand turnovers.
Yeah, for this hole, I actually throw as hard as I can with a putter, just really high, and let it flip and ride. I believe I got this one both rounds, so that's a bonus for me. And here's Shane throwing a rock a little tight.
You got one of those guardian trees. You know, you have to go far enough to beat those, but too far and you're going to catch something on the island that protrudes. So, you know, it's a tricky fairway.
Yeah, this hole's playing just about par, a little over, maybe a 0.1 of a stroke over. Everyone's trying to get their 3s and just move along. Raivis just sitting there right in the fairway, smiling about that one.
Always smiling, though.
Looks good out of Schreiber's hand, maybe a little wide. He'll He'll have a putt.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even that nice little trickle down the hill left him just outside the circle. Forehand play is a great play here. If you can get it high enough on enough hyzer.
Looks a little inside from my angle, but
Yeah, we'll see where this comes down. He has the arm to do
not
that. Not a lot of guys are going to take that angle with the forehand, but he has the arm for it.
here's Raivis putting with this turquoise disc. I'm not sure what it is. P1X, P2. Perfect for Raivis, whatever that is.
He dumped it right there behind the basket. It's kind of a safe place to go. Didn't look like much of a run, but there isn't much of a run there.
Shane looks like he's eyeing this down. Or not.
No, he's playing smart at this point, I think.
Yeah, being up 10 from the people on the lead card. Not sure what everyone else is shooting. But being up 10 definitely is feeling good going to hole 12, one of the easier holes. And
Yeah, we basically have to treat this like we don't know where the lead card is. And, I mean, that was a great deuce for Schreiber on a hole, like I said, averaging just over par. So, I mean, that's a great deuce for him and put him in a three-way tie for second place at the moment. Moriarty has a chance to take that. There he goes. That's a great putt, and that's a great deuce. Looks like, I mean, I guarantee you that's a Halo Destroyer or a Halo Wraith.
here's Raivis. Got a little bit of obstruction with this rock right here. But Raivis puts it up and in and takes a par on hole 11. And Shane should tap out for his 3. Yeah, going to hole 12, it's 135 feet, par 3. MPO players and any player that's competing here today is going to want to get this hole. It's the shortest hole in the course. There's 2 different ways you can actually get to it. It's either a hyzer for righties or even a flick. There's a little flick gap if you like lean out a little bit. Locals know this gap, and
Yeah, Schreiber's about to take it for us.
I think he's actually taking the outside gap.
Outside flick gap. I have seen this a lot.
And he plays it. Needs to get down.
He's going to be a little long. Oh, no, he got the tree love. There is a tree back there, and he kicked him right back under the basket, it looks like.
Here's the local gap I was talking about. Just a little inside, something like pretty neutral, just soft little flick and funnel down to the basket. This looks great. A little long with his heart, but
That is the danger with the forehand shot, is it tends to go long.
yeah, funny story about this hole. I actually threw my Justice a little short, and it wedged in that rock on the right. Couldn't really get it out, but it's on Facebook somewhere, so if you guys want to see that.
Hey, you want to hear a funny story on this hole? I got my first ace here ever, and I did it with a nuke.
Yeah, it's a wide room driver.
Yeah,
Great.
it's a nice nukeable hole.
And there's Shane putting it right in the circle for his shot. And here's Raivis. It's got to be like a tactic, I would say, or something stable. Skips it off the rock, and he's going to have a really tricky shot.
Sets himself up for one of the funnest putts on the course.
Yeah, he definitely should jump putt this. He's outside the circle, but it's pretty downhill.
It's just an absolute dump into the basket. It's a lot of fun.
Raivis does have the nose down putt sometimes, so
Oh, he just
clipped
nicked
the
that tree to the right of him.
here's Schreiber for his 2 look. It's just behind the cage. It's about, looks like just about 20, 25 feet. A little low.
Just a little low. He definitely would have liked to string together those birdies.
Here's Kyle. Just wanted to mention Kyle, new player to Good Sport Disc Golf, doing great things for the community. It's a great pickup from them, and we'll hopefully see Kyle on some more coverages in Massachusetts.
I'm sure we will.
Here's-
Raivis is looking to clean up that par.
Yep, and great putt from Raivis for his 3, and moving on to hole 13. Here's Shane for his 2, I believe.
Yeah. Easy
Yeah.
cleanup for Shane.
Shane's shredding right now, just 8 down through 12, and just doing exactly right things to try to beat everyone on the field. Little sour taste in Schreiber's mouth for his 3, but moving on with a 3, it's better than a 4.
He's keeping pace with the card.
Moving on to hole 13, it's par 3, 256. There's danger to the left, actually. If you hit a tree and kick pretty far left, you're going to be OB, but these players shouldn't have too high of a problem. Just throw a straight shot, either a stable putter, straight putter, or mid-range, or even a flick. See anything up to this hill.
Yeah, I mean, for these guys, it's got to be a pretty violent kick. They're going to be throwing pretty slow discs here, that OB. It comes into play, but not often.
Yeah, Kyle's actually throwing the pilot again. Just looks dead straight out of his hand. And It's looking like going in the basket. Just misses left, and he'll have a putt for 2 right behind the cage.
That was a really solid drive on this hole.
This hole is playing .28 under par, so it's one these guys want to get. This looks a little left out of Shane's hand with the angle he put on it, but he's a good putter. It's pretty good for him. Just right in the little crevice right there. Here's Schreiber with his unknown discs, but let's see if Adam can guess this disc with the flight.
It looks like the same one he's been throwing. It looks like that PA3 again.
This one's kind of see-through looking, so I don't know. Whatever it is, it's in the fairway.
Yeah, it's in the fairway. I mean, he's just outside the circle. It's not a bad spot to be.
Here we have Raivis throwing the FT3 again, the thumber. It's a great-looking thumber hole. Just wants to get up and over the hill and give himself a putt. And hits the last tree, but he'll have a putt about 45 feet, downhill putt. See if Raivis can connect on this one.
Good looking putt, but just a little short of it.
So that see-through disc was a PA3, so maybe there's more PA3s in his bag.
I'd have a bag full of them. Raivis with a big putt.
Yeah.
Nice, another replay on another great putt.
The eye of the tiger from Raivis.
Using no chains to hit that putt.
Oh, and there's Marc Duci in the background. Hello, Marc. Thanks again for what he does with doing in Disc Golf Productions.
Raivis is happy with that. He knows that he's keeping himself in a good position here to still attack for, what we're looking at to be second place.
Yeah, they're battling back for second place right now. And with that putt, Raivis actually bumps Schreiber out of this third place right now. Going to hole 14. It's going to be a battle to the end for these guys. But
yeah, these 3 guys are in a great battle still. I mean, Shane's just walked himself out now, nine down.
Shane's just shredding the course right now, 9 down through 13. It's borderline course record territory. I believe the course record's 12. 12 by Edwin last year, first round. So let's see if Shane can collect a few more birdies and end that with a good shot.
Yeah, I mean, we go into hole 14. Hole 14 is a really technical S-curve. There is a straight line off the box, but that's actually very difficult to hit. We might see a player or 2 go for it today. A little bit of danger around the backside of this green. It all kind of slopes down. There is a little bit of OB to the right-hand side, but it's pretty hard to assume that anyone's going to hit that. I think this hole averaged just a hair over par, so you can actually expect to see a lot of players in this field usually probably just going for the 3.
Kyle throwing a Firebird right there. It looked like a 19 Firebird. The Sexton Firebird just right in the fairway.
Yeah, there's a great way to go up that fairway. I mean, you can attack the basket if you want, but realistically, where Kyle landed is perfect.
And Shane throwing...
He took that straight line I was talking about, but there's a laurel there.
I'm going to guess it's a Leopard. Leopard or Leopard 3, because Shane, he throws really good, just doesn't have that arm speed that he's throwing destroyers, that angle. So I'm gonna guess the Leopard 3.
Yeah, and he got himself all the way to the basket.
Here we have Raivis with the Essence or Enigma, something like that. Looks really good, just needs to sit right next to the bridge. A great shot by Raivis. Yeah, what Adam was saying before about the left or right gap, me personally, I take the right gap. I don't have a flick. Adam has a flick. I assume you go with the left
absolutely.
gap. So, yeah. Schreiber just looking to flip it over with his mid-range. Just clips a tree and pushes towards 15's fairway.
He should be, it looks like he made it all the way to 15's fairway.
This is the best worst case, if that makes sense.
Yeah, he had to fight over everything there, and it looks like he caught the last piece of laurel, maybe just off the edge of the fairway. He's going to have a tough 3 to get from there.
Here's Kyle with his 2-look. And
well, he went for it. I mean, it's the right time to do so, I think.
Here we have Schreiber from his upshot. He's going to have to settle for a bogey.
Yeah, it's a tough place to get a 3 from.
Yeah, Schreiber not playing up to his capability, but everyone knows he's a great player and he'll bounce back. Just one quick shout out for him. He runs the Rally of Rochester up in New Hampshire. If you guys want to check out a great tournament, go up there and give him some support. Here's Shane for his 2. Might have stuck on any other basket, but with the nubs, it got bounced out.
you know, you could see the disappointment in his face there. And even with the score and the lead that he has, you know, you still want to play well. And he had that putt. It was a very good run he put on it.
Raivis was a little low with his. I think he had a little shrub in his way. And Kyle just placed the hole perfectly for par. And
that's the safest,
Yep.
easiest way to play this hole. And honestly, if I'm not playing a tournament, a lot of the time that's the way I like to play it. Just a nice flick to the fairway. And I mean, he lined himself up for a crazy putt.
exactly. And Shane will tap in his par. Not going to get a birdie, but it's not going to be no harm, no foul there for Shane. Hole 15. It's a really tough par 3, 292. Players are going to want to throw a straight shot that flips or just something that crashes through the trees and finishes left. What I do is throw something straight with a mid-range and just basically bang it off the hill, but we're going to see quite a different amount of shots in this hole. Here we
Yeah,
have
I mean, I definitely like what Kyle's doing here. I mean,
big old flex for the Firebird again. Basically, same shot as last hole, it looks like. Yeah.
I like something a little less stable, but he's definitely got the bigger arm. He actually clears the basket.
That's smashed.
Yeah, he's got a huge arm to be able to do that with a Firebird.
This hole is 292, but
Yeah, but
anybody who's ever played this hole, it probably plays like 320.
absolutely. Especially with just all of the obstructions, you really have to
Yeah.
force it there.
You have to throw it straight. There's no flex line there. It's just straight 392 or 292, sorry. And Shane here, a little left, but it should be an up and down area from there. Raivis throwing, what was this, the Essence you were saying before?
Yeah, it's a primal Renaissance.
Just off that first tree. It's looking good. If it
Yeah, the high side is not bad, but there was a lot of trees on that side.
Here we have Schreiber looking to bounce back.
Yeah, he was on a hot streak with 10 and 11, but missing that putt on 12, and then 13 and 14 weren't kind to him.
Yeah, he's chasing 2 strokes from Raivis right now, so he's got to do some work to catch up to him with a battle for second or third place.
He leaked one out a little bit left on the fairway there. Oh, he's actually throwing a roller. Tough course to throw rollers on.
Yeah, if you guys played Cogs, you know all the laurels around here, so unless you have a disc that's going to fight through the laurels, it's going to be tough to get up there.
A lot of tree stumps, and unfortunately looking like... I mean, it's a decent little tester putt that he's going to have to hit to save the bogey, but he'll probably make that down no problem. Raivis is going to be approaching. Putting a little love on it, and... Ooh.
Hits the pole and just misses.
Absolutely fantastic approach.
Here's
Kyle from just past the basket.
Yeah, this is a great shot. You don't see a lot of discs go that long in the basket, but you can't be mad about that up shot or that tee shot. A little short on the putt, but he'll try to get up and down for his 3. And Shane for his 2. He's in the mountain of laurels over there, but
Yeah, that was just a horrible spot.
yeah, and Shane has basically a direct putt inside out, just right at it. Right there, you had to go up and down. Not sure what that was, but it's in, and Schreiber can laugh about it.
He'll take it.
Yep. Here's Wads for his 3. In is in. Moving on to hole 16 for Kyle. Here we have Shane and Raivis just tapping in their 3s and moving along with this hole.
That's not surprising to see on hole 15 at all. You know, that keeps Raivis and Kyle shooting -4 as we move into hole 16. A dead uphill 200-foot shot. I mean, I can't even begin to tell you what that actually plays like. It's actually playing just under par, which makes sense because with a good clean shot up this hill, a lot of guys are going to park this. I mean, you'll see a few guys go long in the basket. It's a lot about your control. You have to be able to control a disc up here and then get it to miss all the trees on their way to the basket.
And here we have Kyle. He's actually throwing the Wads. It's actually a wasp, but it says Wads on top. It's pretty funny, actually. I think he's taking the right gap. Yeah, just wants to get up there and basically an ace run from there. A little long, but he'll have a putt.
A lot of spin on that disc.
There's a lot of different ways you can attack this hole. Personally, I like to just take a really overstable disc, Lucid X Felon for me, and just throw it on Annie and flex it up that hill. Kind of like Shane's doing, but more stable.
That might be the first time Shane has not been in a perfect spot, and that's not really a tough thing to say on hole 16.
Where Shane is, it's not the worst spot. So.
No, it really isn't. It's just the worst for him right now. He's going to leak this a little right, but it's going to be fine.
Here's Schreiber. Just trying to battle, get a stroke on Raivis or even Kyle.
He's definitely thinking about trying to finish this round under par for sure.
Right now is even. Going to hole 16, you want to have a little more birdies than just, or you want to be a little better than just even. So Schreiber wants to get up and down from that. Here we have Shane. Doesn't flick a lot, but this looks great out of his hand. And yeah.
I mean, talk about getting yourself out of trouble. He's got about a 15-foot putt at worst there. I mean, a little awkward of a putt, but he'll have no problem with it.
Schreiber for his 2.
Ooh.
Just clips the left side of the basket and will have to settle for par. Here we have Raivis for his 2 look. This will be a great momentum going into hole 17 and 18.
Ooh. He definitely kissed a chain, but
yeah, a little too much hyzer, I should say.
This too would be huge for Kyle. I mean, he came into this round with a 2-stroke lead on the last place on this card, so I can't speak for the chase card at the moment, but with that birdie, he really puts himself into a huge spot to take second place, or at the very least second place on this card. Ooh, that almost snuck.
Shane had a nice catch for the disc catcher, so he'll be laughing about that one, but moving on with his birdie.
Yeah, he keeps his round bogey-free, and
yeah, 9 down is amazing at Coggs.
It's just unreal.
He still has 2 holes left to put more birdies on the scoreboard there. Schreiber taps in for his 3, and as well as Raivis. We'll move on to hole 17.
I know you too well. Lie to me.
Yeah, 17's the second par 4 here at Coggs. It's 492. It's playing just over par at .22 over, and this one has some teeth, like I said before. This course is tough, but this is probably one of the harder holes in the course for birdie, I would say. Players just want to throw it like right here, maybe a little shorter than that, and just attack the green from there, get their 3. Taking a 4 on this hole isn't a bad thing, but players just want to get off the box clean.
No, I mean, yeah, there's so many ways to attack it. I mean, you're going to see Kyle take the forehand for sure, which is trying to make it down to the corner and then break your way down the hill. A lot of turnovers. As long as you make it halfway up the fairway and then start turning down, that's really good too.
Ooh, just a little too much pull from Kyle. Early kick right, and
I had the chance to be fantastic.
Yeah, it's not going to be a good look from there. Here's Shane with his maybe leopard. I'm not sure what that is, but that's what I'm guessing with. Something a little slower and neutral flight. And this looks great out of his hand. A little kick late, but he's going to be happy with that one.
Absolutely. He'll be in a really good position to attack.
Is that a destroyer?
I don't know. I thought it said Roadrunner.
I don't know. Shane, let us know in the comments. And here we have Raivis with his essence again. Raivis leans on these. Oh.
He gripped that a little bit. He let that out a little late. With the turn that disc has, he didn't have much of a chance to come out. I think he's going to be pinned a little bit on the left-hand side.
And here we have Schreiber throwing a mid-range. I would assume this is M4. M3, maybe. By looks of the flight, he just wants to get up and down from there.
Raivis is going to throw that FD3 thumber again.
Just clips late, so he's going to try to get up and down for his par from there. Here we have Schreiber. I'm going to take a wild guess and say this is a FX2.
Oh, I would have said FX2 too. That's crazy. That's exactly what I would have guessed.
It's like we've worked at 978 before.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's one of the best discs in the Prodigy lineup. I really do love it.
I have no comment.
All right, I don't bag one, but it's pretty great.
Great shot by Kyle. Overhand. I would assume that's a Firebird. Something really stable, just overhand.
Raivis needs to be careful here. He's approaching to get down there. Oof. It's a tough spot.
Yeah, Raivis is actually going to be throwing par from where he is, and being on top of the hill throwing for par here is not a good look, but see if we can get up and down and save some strokes on the field. Yeah.
He trickles down a little. I don't even know. It was a thumber.
Yeah, it was like a soft FT3, I think.
Yeah, it was a really unique looking shot.
Wherever it is, he played it perfectly. And here's Shane. Great shot. He doesn't want to run this because, as you can see, there's Dan in the background. You don't want to go too far and have an uphill putt, but Shane's a good putter.
Ooh. Not a bad looking approach. Basically a borderline run there for sure.
Here we have Schreiber. He's got to be running this. He's even on the round. He's going to want to make this one going into 18. Just misses left. A little trickle at the end, but you got to run it there. Wad's tapping in for his 3 or 4.
His
Sorry,
par,
excuse
yeah.
me.
Schreiber is really going to want this putt.
Yeah, this is about a circle's edge putt, I would assume. Just left.
It's going to be a tough time for him to take that bogey. But hopefully, you know, he's going to have the chance to birdie 18 and get himself back to even. Shane just kind of doing
Shane things.
Yeah. Tying his first round now with the -10. Raivis unfortunately taps in for his bogey.
Schreiber seems disappointed, but
Yeah, it was a tough round for him. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sure based on his first round alone, he's obviously a much better shooter than he was able to display here. But we're gonna finish up with hole 18. I mean, it's a short hole. It's just under 250 feet. It averaged just over par because there's definitely a little bit of trouble off the box. There's basically averaging over par means there's a lot of guardians. It's not a very simplistic hole to park. You have to beat some things to get there. There's a little bit of downplay behind the basket, so those really aggressive players who attack the basket, you can definitely roll along where there actually is a little bit of OB danger.
exactly. I'm going to guess it's going to be 2 thumbers and 2 backhands.
I'm thinking Kyle's going to flick it.
Okay.
I'm thinking Kyle's going to flick that. I don't know. Firebird's probably a little too much for him, but yeah.
Yeah, this looks like an anvil.
Yeah.
Team prototype anvil. It's like a Justice without a bead. It's a little leaking right, but he'll have a putt from over there, especially when it hits that tree.
Yeah, that's a good tree to hit right there for him. There's your good call on the thumber.
Yeah, I don't actually see Schreiber throwing a thumber. So maybe the 1 thumber.
Just the 1 thumber. That's all right. Your other thumber prediction just ended up being the forehand.
Wait. It's a forehand. 2 forehands, 1 backhand.
This might be the first time we've thrown him something a little bit different. I'm assuming he might be throwing like an A2, A1 here.
Whose umbrella is that?
It plays the curve perfectly, and he'll have a putt from the right side. And here's Shane. Just wants to get up and down and take the crown for the Welcome to the Jungle. It's a little left, but as you guys seen,
You know, he has left himself a putt to stay bogey free. We'll give him that. I'm really curious to see if he hits that one.
Raivis
Ooh.
just short.
Would have been a great way for him to finish, but still an excellent round from him. Same for Kyle. Just an awesome round to watch. He really played well, and this putt is, you know, just going to be off the top of the cage, and he'll end up finishing 5 down and 11 down on the day, and that's really not bad at all, especially considering those first round conditions.
Exactly. Schreiber just low with his putt, so he's going to finish a round score of 1 over. It's a little bittersweet, but there's always next tournament.
Oh, wow, he does it.
The only blemish on the scorecard is hole 18 for Shane. He'll putt in for his bogey, and 19 down, it's nothing to...
Super impressive and an
Exactly.
unbelievably great round to watch. You know, just a huge thanks to these guys for putting on a show for us. You know, it's no easy task at all whatsoever to be on one of these film cards. So it's just an honor to see these guys out there and doing the absolute best they can. A huge congratulations to Shane, who's going to be your winner. Kyle was able to hold on to second place there. Looks like Nick Walker moved up quite a bit from the chase card, as did my companion here, Marc Chapalonis. He made it up there to a tie for third place. Sam Henderson moving up, as well as Todd Springer. Raivis takes a 5th place, tie with the 2 of them. So, I mean, a lot of action came from those chase cards, and looks like basically a lot of action on the day. So, a final big shout out to New England Disc Golf Productions along with ActonTV. I want to thank Disc Golf 978 for all that they do. Awesome to have them as long Amplified Insurance Partners, huge sponsor for this event too. Thank you to all of our sponsors, and thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having us, guys, and like, subscribe, do everything you can. Thanks again.